What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at a couple different topics here. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're starting off with this alleged leaked email that has a Nintendo Direct lineup for October 8th. And right off the bat, just looking through some of these supposed announcements, I can tell that it's fake. That's just like the first thing that I can tell with it. So if you go down this here, and shout outs to a couple different places, Gaming Intel, they reported on this. We've had a couple YouTubers make videos on it. I mean, it hasn't really brought any real traction from any actual reliable insiders so far. This was posted on Wario64's Twitter page when the news broke that Kirby Fighters 2 was coming out, or leaked by Nintendo themselves. So here is what the list shows, and I'm going to go through it here, guys. And then we're going to talk about whether there's any truth to this at all, and if there's anything in October, because I might have some more information on that. So let's take a look here, guys. So WarioWare Switch It Up is coming summer 2021. Pokemon Sword and Shield: The Crown Tundra, November 27th, 2020. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, February 12th, 2021. Kirby Power Rumble after the Direct. Dragon Quest Anthology is December 14th, 2020. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout right after the Direct. Nintendo Game Boy games coming to Nintendo Switch Online after the Direct. Grand Theft Auto 3, November 4th, 2020, which is interesting. My dude MVG just put out a video talking about somebody who did some homebrew with Grand Theft Auto 3 running perfectly on the Nintendo Switch. Persona 5 Scramble, January 8th, 2021. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Challenger Pack 7, Crash Bandicoot, there we go. Right after the Direct, following Sakurai demonstrating him. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Super Mario Galaxy 2 DLC on December 18th, 2020. And The Legend of Zelda Breath of Evil teaser trailer 2021. That name right there, The Legend of Zelda Breath of Evil, that's just not gonna happen. Like, I don't see that happening. So this is obviously fake, guys. If you're watching videos of people talking about this and saying that it could be real, or if you're thinking that this rumor could be real in terms of these games, it's just taking stuff that we already know, slapping them together to make them seem more believable than making up other things. Kirby Power Rumble, I mean, what's going on here? I mean, some of this stuff is not true at all, and then other stuff is just stuff that we already knew about. Nintendo's dated, like, for example, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, or they're just taking like wild guesses like Pokemon Crown Tundra. So here's the thing, guys. Will there be a Direct on October 8th? It's always possible, right, that there's something in October. Is there any truth to this? Is Nintendo doing something in October outside of maybe a partner Direct? Because I do think that we're going to get a partner Direct, because they've been pretty much doing one partner Direct a month since July. July, August, September, we got 3 partner Directs already. So I do think that's going to continue. But I do have some information. I do think that there will be something in October, maybe outside of a partner Direct. And the reason why I say this is because, trust me, I'm saying this, that there might be something outside of that. I don't know what it's going to be exactly, and I don't really feel like talking about it, but there could be something outside of a partner Direct in October. Like I said, we're going to have to wait and see. Maybe there'll be more information that's revealed later. I'm not exactly sure when that information will be revealed or when it will be allowed to be revealed, but maybe there will be something more, maybe there won't. They are the king of surprises at times. Just when you think that there's nothing happening, or just when you think that there's nothing else going on, bam, here comes this and that and all these other different things. So that's what I would say with this here, guys. I don't think this Direct is real in terms of October 8th Direct, but I do think that there could be something else going down in October outside of a partner Direct. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, now moving on to the next topic here, guys. We have something that I discussed in a live stream recently, but I did want to talk about it a little bit more in a video and kind of go over some of the things that I would like to see for Metroid Prime 4. It's been a little bit since we've talked about the game, so I think now's the best time to talk about it, right? So back in July, Retro Studios did add a longtime staffer from Sony Santa Monica. His name is John Marcella, who worked on the most recent God of War games, and shout outs to Nintendo Everything for the article here. And he is now with the Metroid Prime 4 developer as an environmental designer. So Marcella was also a designer on God of War Ascension, a game that's not very good in my opinion, having been involved with elements such as game collision. However, he definitely bumped his game up just a bit, because he also worked on God of War on the PlayStation 4, where he was a senior game designer, level designer, and was involved with layouts, AI scripting, navigation sequences, fight spaces, puzzle design, and more. Now, on the whole, Marcella spent over 7 years with Sony Santa Monica, so he definitely had some tenure there. Now, Nintendo announced back in January 2019 it had completely rebooted the development of Metroid Prime 4, with Retro Studios at the point. Now, the company previously created all other mainline entries in the series when it comes to Metroid Prime, that is. Obviously, other mainline Metroid games were created by other teams. Plenty of talent has joined the team since then, including a Halo artist, DICE art director, and the director of Warhawk, among others. So let's talk about this real quick. This hire does not mean all of a sudden Samus is going to start ripping people's heads off and the game turns into God of War. No, it doesn't mean it's going to have graphics like God of War. No, it doesn't mean it's going to have photorealistic graphics. No, it doesn't mean it's going to have crazy online multiplayer like Warhawk where you're shooting people in Samus face ships and all that. That doesn't mean any of that. So I think the problem that we have here with Metroid Prime 4 when it comes to these announcements of the hirings, people are so desperate for news, they take any little bit of information and they kind of run with it. All you got to do is look at some of the posts on Twitter and look at some of the comments. Whenever there's somebody from this game or that game, everybody just kind of shifts into, well, it's going to be like this now at this point. And it's just a hire, guys. People are people, and they can adapt to different situations, and they're joining a project as it's really heavy in development. That doesn't mean they're going to come in and completely change the design in terms of how things are going. They're coming in to aid the development and to get this game done. That's the biggest thing, and that's how games always handle this. It's just that we hear about Retro Studios is because we have people that are literally looking at every single type of thing and waiting, but this happens all the time, from people going from one game to another game mid-development of that game in order to get things done. So it's just a hire at this point, but it's somebody that they needed for talent in order to get the type of game that they want to get done, a big HD Metroid game, because you have to remember, this is the first actual Metroid game that will be in HD. There was nothing on the Wii U. There was nothing at all. They had Metroid Prime Trilogy. That was a download for the Wii Virtual Console. Still played and looked great, but it was a Wii game. It was Wii and GameCube games, okay? So we haven't had anything just yet. So they're trying to make this really good. That's the reason why they're hiring talent that can work on a variety of different projects. So that's kind of how that thing is, all right? There's nothing more to it. Doesn't mean it's going to be like God of War or anything like that. Now let's talk a little bit about the game itself. Obviously, we haven't heard too much in terms of what they're doing, but I think it's going to be very much in line with the original Metroid Prime and kind of blowing that up by maybe 5 or 6 times, right? Metroid Prime, there was great things about that game in terms of the design, the functions, the art, the gameplay, 60 frames per second, really smooth, great narrative, really good environments. There was so many cool things about it, but I think they're going to take that base gameplay and of course modernize it quite a bit, add in some extra things that you can do, and really put in even more value and more content that would be expected from a Metroid Prime game. I think that it's very possible that there's going to be a bounty hunter system, and you can go from different planets, and you can travel and kind of do different things and earn extra equipment and get different things that way. I think that's a very big possibility because they want to expand on what the Metroid Prime lore and aspects are. They want to make it a bigger and better game, but they also have to modernize it so it can sell. Nintendo's obviously putting quite a bit of money in here, and I think the old school way of the backtracking and kind of how Metroid Prime worked before isn't exactly going to work in terms of sales and how they want it to be. Now, Nintendo is spending a lot of money on Metroid. Obviously, that is happening. So they want to make sure that this game does well. So they're probably going to have to make a couple tweaks here and there to the formula. But I do think regardless, the Switch is probably the perfect atmosphere to bring back Metroid Prime. You have a huge install base. You have obviously the portable fans and the home console fans, people who love portable Metroid, people who love console Metroid, and you have a hot system that's continuing to sell extremely well with a large install base, larger than the install base was when Metroid Prime 3 launched on the Nintendo Wii, and even larger than the install bases when like Metroid Prime 1 and Metroid Prime 2. Obviously it was larger with what the Switch is doing. So this is the best atmosphere for a console style Metroid game to launch in. So I expect the game to do extremely well. I expect it to do a lot better than what Metroid Prime 1, Metroid Prime 2, and Metroid Prime 3 did easily. This is probably going to be the best selling Metroid game of all time. And the reason why I say that is just because of the atmosphere of the Nintendo Switch and how every single game, regardless of what it is, comes out on the Switch and it does better than what the previous games did in the franchise. So I expect this game to do a lot better, especially if it's a solid, good game, which I would expect it to be considering the talent at Retro and of course Retro Studios and their pedigree with Metroid Prime. So in my opinion, I think this is going to be a great game, and they're going to do a fantastic job, and it's going to do very well. It's going to do a lot better than people think that it's going to do. So what do you guys think about this here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.